Hello guys and welcome to the STPL. We're here for another day, third day this week. Didn't miss a day this week, which is good. I know last week I missed the second day, so back again. We've got some cool series coming your way. We're going to start here with our first one, which will be Net Wars versus bwL. Then we'll be getting into Foreign Brood War versus Bull, so that should be fun.
That's right, Kix, and it's good to be back for another day of STPL, and truly should be good for everybody else out there watching. So if you know people that you usually see watching, you don't see them watching, go tell them to come watch because it's awesome. So today's last week's game, or last day's games, or last broadcast was actually really sick. We had really cool IRK versus White Clan series, so you should definitely check that out. I think it's on the STPL YouTube, which still doesn't have a link down below, Kix.
Yeah, I completely forgot. This weekend, it's going there. It's going there. Now, one thing, just to talk about that IRK series quickly, it's made a little bit of a difference here in the top 10 because for the first time in nearly 2 rounds, someone has gone ahead of Yeti because DeWalt won his game, which pushed him ahead of him for that top spot. So DeWalt's now the top spot.
That's crazy. Wait, how is 21-6 a better record than 20-4? Or is that just counting max wins?
It's counting max wins, and like it has max wins. Then if that's even, it goes on losses. So before they were both 20 and well, they were both 20 wins, so it had Yeti on top with 20-4 to 20-6, but the extra win adds it on. I mean, the other thing about just this top 10 is you can see the amount of ace matches they've played in. Now, DeWalt has played in 5 ace matches for IRK, and he's won all 5 of them, so he's earned his place in the top spot. And also, Terra actually moved up to take over Scan's spot as well, just behind Noob now in the top 6.
Oh wow, that's actually really impressive. You know, these are the players that you don't expect to see like drop, you know, at all. And so, yeah, it's glad to see some competition up at the top because Yeti doesn't get a whole lot of that. But I think safe to say, while last round we had maybe 4 people from Net Wars here. Now, not only have some players changed teams or whatever, but we also have DeWalt way up at the top, which is really cool.
Yep, and obviously he's doing really well in Korea too, but let's talk about today's series by first going through and introducing our teams. Unable to get Hive, the final units from Cadenti actually going in, not even managing to kill a single tank. Great D-matrixes by Koga, and unfortunately it looks like this is going to be the end of the game. The carapace upgrades are not going to finish. GG! The last race is going to go down. And this is such a good usage of that spell, good usage of the Ghost by Radley for this. Now he's trying to clean it up, but this is too many 3-0 tanks against 2-0. That's not going to be enough for him. GG! Yeah, there's absolutely nothing Praise can do. Sai put up a good fight, but Zero taking down Praise here. GG! And all of Hermon's army is evaporated. I mean, we see Hermon with that bottom left base starting to mine as well. But he's running left. To an observer, and GG! Still, there's 7 dragoons even, I can't count. The math is not my strong point today, but this is all of the tanks that Kimflex has. And this counterattack could win the game.
I think that's it. Damn!
It's not really too sure where to send his units. And I mean, this is 5 lurkers at the top of your ramp. What are you going to do about this? It looks like he's going to try and split Zealots. A great storm. Going to be able to clean up 2 of these, and GG. He's going to be trying to transfer all of his workers over. Now the Goliath count getting dangerously low. Carrier's making good usage of this high ground, but losing yet another carrier. Can he get another one? No, he can't. It's 3 Goliaths. GG. Storm going down on top of Kingdom's army. Another huge storm again. The High Templar, unfortunately, for Guanwu, not really doing too much. He's actually losing a lot of them before storming. This is so many Zealots. He's not storming the Zealots. It looks like that's GG.
Not a hurt or kick, while T5 was able to defend earlier. Yeah, Cracklings
they
and
kill buildings pretty fast. Yeah.
Yeah, name a more iconic duo. And finally, it looks like that is truly the nail in the coffin.
It's showtime.
Okay, so there's our two teams for today. Now, bwL may have only won one of their series so far, but that was actually because they've only been in one round, and they played 7 overall, I think it was, and they were against really, really good teams last round. So they're back in round 4 to try and make their, or pave the path into the playoff finals, if they can. Now their opponent's going to be NetWars, one of the highest performing teams in the STPL, only winning 17 of their series, which I know sounds crazy when I say only 17 when they've played so many, but they've come second twice. So in round 2 and round 3 they got into the playoff finals off the back of those series, and did come second overall, so kind of crazy.
Yeah, what's crazy to me is that you have Brood War Life with only 1 win. Like that doesn't make sense. Okay, so isn't that because this is like the first?
This is the second round. Second round.
Okay. Yeah, and so a lot has changed with Brood War Life. I never know what to expect from these guys because it's you know, kind of the how do I say this? Fan favorites of the foreign Brood War community, but it's not foreign Brood War. It's Brood War Life. And what was the name of that that clan that Tai2 tried to make for a while?
I can't remember.
It was Bun.
Yeah,
and
Bun.
It stood for bounce for some reason. And Brood War Life, I like to think of as a spiritual successor to that, even though it actually has nothing to do with it. So
yeah, like Brood War Life was spawned when Kingdom left Naz, decided to get a load of players together, make a team, and here he is in round 3 and 4. We're in round 4 now, of course. And just have a look at this week's maps as well, just in case you haven't been following throughout the week. Set 1 will be on Fortress SE. Set 2 will be on Neo Chain Reaction. Set 3 will be on the Mancha. Set 4 will be on Neo Medusa, and if we make it there, Set 5 will be on Holy World SE. And that's not all, because now we can have a look at what matchups we're actually going to be seeing today. Let's actually remove that key matchup bar, but obviously it's now Wars versus bwL. Set 1 is going to be Julian versus Mello. Set number 2 is going to be Bonith versus Bobmu on Neo Chain Reaction. Set 3 is going to be Ziggy versus Herbmon on La Mancha in a TVT, and Set 4 is going to be Cheetek versus Manasman on Neo Medusa.
I don't know exactly what to expect here because we've got our different superstars in different matches. Bonith, obviously, a huge kind of front runner for the strength of Net Wars.
Yeah.
And then our man Herbmon on the other side, leading the way for Brood War Life.
Yeah, I mean, I think looking at the players, this is possibly... It's kind of strange because Net Wars haven't sent out their best roster here. Now, when you look at Bonith, he's quite far the best on Net Wars roster in this place. Cheetek actually subbed in for True Touch, so that was kind of like their second big power play. But Julian, Julia, if you haven't heard of him, is one of the most controversial people in the Brood War scene, the foreign Brood War scene that is, up there with Telecom. And I've told him if he causes any trouble, he will be ousted from the tournament. So hopefully we won't have anything too crazy coming in from him, no like weird BM or anything. But it should be cool to see how he's going to do. He actually did okay in the BSL when he made his debut back there, but he didn't really light any souls on fire with those games. So hopefully he's going to play a little bit better here. Excited to see Herbmon as well. Herbmon, not recently anymore, but he did switch from Zerg to Terran, so he's actually going to be playing Terran in that series. I just need to update the database, I keep forgetting. But Julian versus Mello, I think, is going to be my favorite match, hopefully.
Yeah, I think that when you look at the evenness of the matches, maybe Cheetek versus Mannersman might be the most even one, but I don't know what to expect from Julian versus Mello, because Julia, I've only ever seen one game, and it wasn't great.
Yeah. Yeah, now, I mean, just, there's not really too much to talk about with the player stats. They are both debuting here for their teams. Mello did actually play back in the show match series for round 3, but never actually played during the main round for whatever reason. So he's here with a clean slate. Julia is here with a clean slate as well, and they're going to be heading on to our first map, which is going to be Fortress SE. Let's quickly give it an introduction. Okay guys, so I'll mute myself. Yes, I have. I was a little bit worried there, but as you can see, we're going to be heading in to Fortress SE. Now, this is not the first time we've seen it in the STPL. It's actually, we've had 2 ZVPs on here already. Zerg actually won both of those. So Julian obviously with a statistical advantage here in the first match. Now, just in terms of how this is going to go, you have the installation gates. Now this did come into play a lot when we saw Norgrim's game. When he was playing, it was kind of crazy because what ended up happening was he took both the corner bases and his opponent just couldn't really ever do any damage to him. It was really, really impressive.
Yeah, the corner bases here are weird because you look at them and you don't expect... I mean, lots of bases have corner bases, but these are... Like, you can just get these so fast, and it's impossible to glitch through here. I think maybe the last day we saw, oh yeah, it was versus DeWalt. There was an attempt to 8-rax him by glitching through the back of like a temple, and you can do that on some doodads, but not these gates protecting the corners. So they are safe.
Now, with the way the players are spawned, that top left base is going to be kind of a point of hot contention. It's going to be really good to sort of send drops up there, send into the main. And obviously there's no guarantee we're going to get to the late game with this game. It is Julia. Julia is known for playing very, very quick and very, very strange games. He does a lot of cheese. So we're either going to have, I think, like a 30-40 minute game on here, or we're going to have like a 4 or 5 minute game. But I can't wait to find out exactly what it's going to be. So let's join together and find out with each other as we jump into game number 1 between NetWars and bwL. It's Julian versus Mello. Okay, and starting us off here in the left-hand position, we do have the green Zerg fighting for NetWars. It's Julian.
And his opponent, the other side in the blue in as Protoss, is Mello, playing for Brood War Life. For the most part, and actually, it's just let me just make sure that I'm correct in this. Yeah, for the most part in PvZ, it's kind of normal to open Forge or Gateway Expand. For Zerg, it'd be natural to go for some sort of like 5-hatch play. That's just like ultra super mega common. It does depend on things like, do you get your hatchery blocked? Do you try to take the 3rd hatchery? And what happens to this corner base? So some questions to look for are, kind of, what opener does our Protoss player go for? Is it going to be a Gateway or a Forge, to see what kind of style they want to play? And for the Zerg player, it's like, how early do they get their pool? And it looks like the answer is exactly at the same time, because Overpool is the only build that we ever see from Zerg as an opener.
Well, the funny thing is, we do have those odd games where the Overpool just outright wins the game, so... I don't know. We can never be too sure what's going to happen when we're watching these STPL games. Obviously, due to the fact, especially if some players are kind of coming back after a long break, like a lot of the maps that are in the STPL, they could maybe be unfamiliar with, which I don't blame them. Obviously, the teams that have been doing better in the STPL have certainly been practicing a lot more on the maps. I know that IRK especially a player like Jerry K97 has spent a lot of time practicing the maps he's going to play, and he's outright just like subbed out if he hasn't had enough time to practice it. So some players certainly do a really good job of that. Now it looks like Julia going to be going for an expansion behind this, so not going into a large number of lings or anything too crazy. And we've got Mello going for his wall off, going to get at least one cannon, I think. No, he's actually going straight for a Nexus. Now, a little bit.
Ooh, Nexus.
Yeah, this is a little bit risky.
Nexus before cannon, and it's scouted. Like he knows the Overlord's there, so it's not like it's a mystery. And oh yeah, there's the cancel. I love it. That's actually so smart. I really like that decision. To say, look, man. Not only is it going to be rough, but double cannon. Okay, so he sees the probe come down, and I think he thought that was a telegraph for aggression. Goes panic mode. Whereas it's actually Jones behind this.
Yeah, but still, this is a good number of lings, and I mean, when you have this number of lings, they aren't going to be able to break this wall. Oh wait, hold on. I see that, and the lings get into the main. How the heck did that just happen? But Julian in the main now, there's no Zealot to be seen. More lings won't get through, but GG. Mello taps out for some reason.
Like, okay, so let's just be real. First of all, that was not like, I mean, you said a good number of lings. I'm just like,
yeah.
It's not that many lings. Now, they did come pretty quickly, but not quicker than they would come in every game. This is an overpool. It's what you should expect. This is the litmus test.
Yeah.
And he went Nexus before cannon. Like, if he had just gone straight to cannon, easy hole. Unquestionable. This is, there's only thing worse than a one cannon Protoss player kicks, and that's a no cannon Protoss player.
Yeah.
So like,
I don't know.
I
can't explain that game, but I think Mello probably overreacted. Maybe thought there was more lings in his base than there was. His gas was stolen. Maybe he was like, well, behind this he could be going for something that I need gas units for, which I can no longer get. I cancelled my Nexus. I overreacted to that, and I guess maybe he just got a little bit tilted or something. That's all I can say. That's really quick game though. Yeah, I mean, Julia's probably not going to... I'm going to be honest, Julia's probably happy that he got a win even, but I wouldn't be happy if I won the game like that, because that doesn't feel like a win. That's like...
Well, let me just, like, describe it this way. Like, I have yet to see a game that has Julia in it that in any way lives up to my expectations. It's just the thing, man. And I guess we'll see how consistent or how... I guess, what do you want to call it? How much of a trend that is with his games. But, I kind of knew that we were going to get something a little special, and I guess there we did. 3 minutes, and we're done. So I guess we can just get straight into the next series.
That's the plan. I mean, if you jump in the game, I've got the overlay set up for it, because it kind of doesn't feel worthwhile, like skipping to anything or anything like that, because we've kind of already...
It's like if we took a break, we'd just be going straight to, like, we'd play commercials, start the game, play commercials, start the game. It's just like, okay, well, we're just zooming through the series. But I'm ready to go with the next one if you are.
Okay, so you're in the replay. Let's throw up the players just to sort of go through those quickly. Now, there's obviously one of net was star players in this game, so that should help a little bit. Obviously... we're getting into the second game pretty quickly, but Bonith 8-7. His win ratio, I mean, it is 53%, which isn't as high as maybe a lot of people would think for Bonith, but he's had some losses against some really good players. And I mean, when you look at his versus Zerg stats, which is his historically best matchup, he's actually 1-for-4 at the moment. But he's lost to Jerry, he's lost to Eon Zerg, he's lost to Ku, he's lost to Ho as well. And he beat Ku, so he got revenge on Ku there from Red, but not having the easy path here into round 4 has Bonith.
Yeah, he hasn't had the easiest path, but like let's just be real. What would it take for you to not think that Bonith is an amazing player?
I mean,
like it was just what could even happen to cause that thought to enter your head? It would take a lot. So you're right. He hasn't had an easy path, and he might not have an easy future. But I mean, it's hard to count him out in basically any matchup. And for this matchup specifically, my boy Bob Mo, Wait, is it Bob Moo? Bob
Yeah, it's
Moo.
Bob Moo,
I missed
yeah.
some of the others.
He's
Bob
got a
Moo,
good name.
man. Yeah, he's got a good name. Maybe not good chances. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the only game he's actually played, he lost to Ku as well, so... I mean,
Yeah.
if we're looking just purely at the stats, that puts him even with Bonneth. Just saying.
That's the stupidest statistical
Yeah.
comparison I've ever seen, Kicks.
Yeah, well, it works in this situation, man. Like, you just know, like, Bobby, man, he's got this game. I can feel it. I feel it in my bones. Bonneth just, he's not had the best luck with his STPL games, going against such amazing players. And can Bobmoo join the pantheon of amazing people to take down Bonneth here as we get into our second map, which is going to be on Neo Chain Reaction. And not Fortress SE, 1 second. I always love this. Like, you made a joke like last week or something where you were like, something like, imagine Kix's face when something goes wrong with the overlay, and I just pulled the exact same face again. So yeah, let's throw up the intro now. I've got it ready. We can get into game number 2. Okay, you know what? The intro didn't play. We'll leave it for now. It's fine. We don't need an intro anymore. That's it. We're on the stats, and we're on the wrong page. But, okay, so Neo Chain Reaction, the 2-player map of today. We got a player spawning on the right, player spawning on the left. We saw an amazing game on here between Ann and Scan. This is actually going to be our first ZVP here, so it should be cool to see how it functions in this matchup. We have seen that there is kind of a... which side is the Protoss spawning? So over here, this is where you kind of wall. There's a little doodad here which allows you to wall. It's not the easiest wall to pull off. There's also a back door here behind, which is just a template. It will take Zerg a long time to break down their early game, but if we see some kind of crazy lurker rush, maybe Bobmoo can make something happen there. Now, I'd say this map features a very, very strong move for Bonneth as well. One thing we saw in Ann vs Scan is just how powerful shuttles can be with High Templars in. And I know Bonneth is more of a Reaver player historically, but outside quite a lot of the bases, there's actually sort of high ground there that you can drop and storm drop as well. So looking forward to seeing exactly how this is going to go. There's also a lot of airspace around the main to get those Reavers in. So let's see how Bonneth and Bobmoo are going to play out this game as we get on to Neo Chain Reaction for game number 2. Okay, now starting us off in the right-hand side, we do have the red Protoss fighting for Net Wars. It's Bonneth.
And on the other side, in the white, for Brood War Life, it's Bobmoo. Sorry, I had to let the epicness build up there.
Yeah, that's a great name. Great name for an epic player who is most certainly gonna take down Bonneth here. I can feel it.
Dude, what sound does a Bob make?
Moo.
I guess I don't know, man. Maybe Bob works on a farm. If he does, as somebody who worked on a farm for many years of my life, I know this guy has good taste. So let's see what his good taste in builds look like. Extractor trick. Ooh, my man Bobmoo getting fancy here, Kicks.
That's that. I mean, you know the amazing thing? It means he's not actually going for an overpool. He's gonna go most likely for a pool off the back of this. So it's gonna be a 10 hatchery. He's going for 10 hatch. This is the power of Bobmoo. He's going for a build we've not seen. This is it. He's the one.
Well, we certainly are. I remember seeing Hirmu 10 hatch, and it was a very iconic game, but it was also a very bad one.
Double Geyser.
But yeah, what are we starting to wait? Double Geyser.
Yeah, he did the double Geyser trick. So he did it again.
Double extractor trick.
Yeah, sorry.
I thought he was taking double gases. And I was like, excuse me? No. But yeah, he did double extractor trick. I think only the first one is worth it, right? If I remember reading an article a while ago,
Oh, the
only
gas
the first one.
seal!
Whoa, no way! I mean, I
Just,
guess you can get it in the natural, but
just as the drone was about to like morph into the extractor as well, get stopped.
yeah.
This is the power of Bonneth, man. Bonneth going into a Zealot first, Gateway first build from him, ultimate confidence, and that gas steal is just kind of just keeping Bobmu in check. He's a little bit worried about how kind of crazy, how Super Saiyan Bobmu is going to come out here and sort of prove us all that there's people that can beat Bonneth.
Well, I mean, I'm hoping. I don't know. See, especially once the probe gets there. Like, if you do some sort of cheese before the probe gets there, then okay, well, scouting is going to give him that information, but you've already set things in motion. Now, Bonnet just gets to sit here with perfect information, and if you do something, he does what counters it.
Yep.
And he's going for a Forge Expand too here, and this is not very weak to, or he went with a Gateway Expand. Too, and so he's gonna have Zealots coming across here, and this is just gonna kind of go from bad to worse here. Oh, look at that probe and Zealot attacks syncing up very, very well, and that means that even though the probe goes down, these Zerglings aren't gonna do anything to the Zealot.
Yeah, the good thing is the probe has gone down, though. It does make it a little bit harder for the Protoss Zealot to get through all of the links as quickly, but Zealot's got a buddy here now, so that's going to make things a little bit easier. Bob moves Zerglings attacking split up as well, needs to get those together. But he's doing an okay job so far holding this off. He's not lost any drones, which is the main thing.
And he stopped Zealot production, so, or, and Bonnet has stopped Zealot production, so overall, the damage is minimal, but the big victory is having forced a ton of tunnelings.
Yeah, that's huge. But then again, you don't know what Bobmu is going for. Maybe he's going some crazy Ling all in or something. We do see speed is on the way, so could see a large swell of speedlings maybe head over to try and get through Bonnet's wall. Obviously, I did say it was a little bit harder to wall here. There is that. I don't know if you'd count that as a doodad or kind of like a map feature, but there's like the pile of rocks which makes it a little bit harder to wall here. Now Bonnet's going to play a little bit safe and add another cannon.
Big deal is that the Zealot saw speed finish with its dying breath, and so I mean maybe it matters, maybe it doesn't, but it means that maybe it's time to pull some probes, my dude. Like you gotta be really worried at this point. This is a 2-cannon Protoss, so I think this should be solid, right?
Bobmu is pulling 3 drones. Is he gonna proxy hatch?
No, I think he's gonna try to glitch through the Zealots.
He needs vision for that. His Overlord is a little bit too far away.
Yeah, he would have to float that Overlord in.
Huh.
I mean, it's too late to proxy hatch though, like, right?
Well, it's Bobmu, man. What can happen?
Man, yeah, maybe Bobmu works in mysterious ways.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, you gotta move it. You gotta move that Overlord.
You can actually sunk and push this wall with a proxy hatch, I guess, but yeah, this is not the best engagement I've ever seen here from Bobmu.
What happened, Kix? What happened, Kix? What happened here? Oh no! What are those drones doing? Ah! Ah!
Okay, that's not very good for Bobmu. I'm not gonna lie. Things are looking a little bit tense, a little bit harder for him. Not really too much we can do here other than just hope for Bobmu. Press F to pay respects to Bobmu if you so choose to. But Bonneth gonna add another cannon on just to be safe. Obviously, you don't want to die to this because it's kind of a little bit awkward if you die to this one. But Bobmu going in with some more links. He's gonna probably make this his last hurrah and see if he can push through. If he doesn't, he's going to be so far behind. But, I mean, this is a lot of drones and a lot of links, so maybe he can make something happen. Oh, the Overlord's in place now. But the drones can't get through for some reason. How weird is that?
Well, there's plenty of probes here too, so like, yeah, get these Zerglings out of here. Yeah, that's it. Wow, GG. Holy, are we speed running a day of STPL here?
Well, given the fact those 2 games don't add up to 10 minutes, it's very possible that we are. So, I mean, we can't speak too soon. We had a series like this with, VT and Soul, and then we had Ann versus Scan, which was like 40 minutes, so you can never be too sure what's going to happen. Looks like my overlay bugged out a little bit there, but we're back on screen, which is good. We'll load up the next replay, we'll go to a quick 1 minute break, and we'll see you guys when we get back. Okay guys, welcome back to the STPL. We're here for Net Wars versus bwL. It's been a little bit of a quick series so far. We've technically been online for about 30 minutes in terms of when we've actually been casting. We've seen 2 games already. We're going into game number 3. Now, I'll just quickly introduce our players here, because obviously they're the next piece of the puzzle. See how this series is going to go. But if we have a look here, you'll see that for for Net Wars, we have Ziggy. Now, Ziggy has lost his only game he's played. That was against Size Mitak. That was back in round 2. So he's back here again to see if he can make a dent. And his opponent is going to be Herbon for bwL. Now, Herbon has played a lot more games. He actually played it across 2 teams. He was on red in round 1 and 2. I believe he was playing for bwL in round 3 as well, but he is 0-2 against against Terran at the moment. He did switch races in the middle of this as well, so I think both of his versus Terran losses were a Zerg. That means things could look a little bit differently here. I mean, when you look at the Terrans he lost to as well, he lost to Medino at last, so it's not like he could have really done too much there.
Yeah, Last is actually quietly super good, and so is Medino. We got a chance to watch him play pretty well for his team a couple of days ago, or something like that. A couple of broadcasts ago, let me put it that way. So yeah, no slouch, and you know, Herbon is certainly very good despite his stats. So see how he does today.
Okay, so let's actually quickly look at the next map as we take a look at the intro for La Mancha. You know what? That's not La Mancha. I'll fix this after. Let's skip straight into the match stats. Now, when you're looking here, La Mancha, we've had 1 TBT here so far where bwL took down 3s. That was actually a really epic TBT. If you haven't seen that, you can check the VOD out on the YouTube, which is youtube.com/STPL TV. But obviously, you'll want to wait until after the games are done. It is a TBT, so there's not really too much we can go into kind of the way the map looks. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into game number 3. It's Herbon versus Ziggy. Okay, starting us off here in the top right-hand position, we do have the Teal Terran fighting for bwL. It's Herbmon.
That's right, and his opponent on the other side of the map in the white. That is the white color, right? Yeah. This is our Terran player Ziggy playing for Net Wars.
Okay, so it is a TVT. There is a chance this could go long, but of course, if we're using the previous two games as an indication of how this one's going to go, we're going to be into some crazy TVT cheese. Not sure if that's what we're going to see here, but even in, I guess Game 2 was kind of like the weird all-in cheesy game. Game 1 was just kind of someone massively overreacting, so I mean, there is a chance that we've got a long TVT in our hands here now. Looks like both players not going for 8 Raxes in the middle of the map, so that's a good start.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think, okay, what are the big things to watch out for in the early part of this game? I kind of went over the basics of, a couple of the matchups earlier, but, these games just hasn't given us too many options. Now, so the biggest thing for Terran players, do they build a depot? So yes, we aren't going to see an 8 Rax or BBS or anything crazy like that. We're just going to keep it simple here. Now, where does this SCV go? Scouting after depot means that you could just go for, building it in the middle, but he's going to build the barracks back at home. So, all right, we've checked both of the boxes that say that Herbmon is not doing anything aggressive, and this is what you should expect because Herbmon is a Zerg player who's playing Terran.
Yeah, and the next big tell is they're both going for gas here, so from this, with gas, there's a few openings you can do. You can obviously just go for a normal factory expand. You can also go for 2-port Wraith. And also a build that's not as common these days, but still quite strong, is 2-factory. So we'll have to see exactly when these players pull off of gas. You can see both of them are going to be sending their SCVs into gas fairly quickly after it's done to make sure they get that factory as soon as possible. And now just to quickly mention something about the players, if you haven't seen Herbmon before, he is someone who streams quite possibly. I don't think he streams as much at the moment. He's been quite busy with his job and whatnot, but he streams more hours than anyone else I can think of. Maybe second to like Neon Zerg or something. It's insane how much he streams.
He actually does stream quite a bit. He's a great Brood War player. He's pretty interactive. More than that, he's a chill dude.
Yeah.
And so definitely make sure to check out his stream. It is the bootinest, pluginest thing that you will ever watch on twitch.tv. In order to find out what that means, you have to go ask Herbmon. So, certainly exciting to watch him play. I haven't actually seen him play Terran. I maybe once or twice on the stream, but it's by far his off race. He's normally a Zerg player, like I said. So I don't know what this is going to look like, because when you're playing as Terran versus Terran, and one of you is playing your main race and the other's off race, well, that's just quite a big disadvantage in TVT, where you really have to have some solid fundamentals.
Herbmon has switched to Terran full-time now, so I'm not sure how much time he's had to play TVT, but it looks like Herbmon's going to be going for an expansion here, whereas Ziggy actually stayed in gas for a lot longer and is going for that second factory. Now, he actually built that relatively close to the SCV of Herbmon there, so I'm not quite sure if Herbmon did see that go down, but Ziggy's actually hiding his SCV in Herbmon's main to get a little bit bigger of a scout later on. Now, the kind of funny thing is because Ziggy built that second factory so late because he was trying to hide it, Herbmon's actually got his second factory up at nearly the same time, despite going for an expansion first.
Yeah, I mean, Expo first is, I think, probably it's never advisable because I just see players die to it all the time, but if there is a matchup where you can get away with it pretty consistently, it's TVT. So that minor advantage is just going to be minor because vultures come out and you should be able to be okay there, unless you're going to be facing some super crazy early push like with early Marines in an SCV pull or something.
Okay, now if I'm looking at this, I'm seeing double machine shop. I'm going to assume that it's going to be mines
Yeah.
and speed at the same time. He is going for vultures, so
Yes.
that is going to be mines and speed. You start speed first because speed actually takes a little bit longer than mines to finish, and arguably in early game TBT, like vulture versus vulture, it's kind of like lings versus lings in TBT. If you don't have speed, you're kind of at such an inherent disadvantage that you mainly just lose all of your vultures right away. So Ziggy's definitely going to have the advantage there because Herbmon, rather than going for the machine shop quicker, is actually gone straight into triple factory production. So it's going to be 3-fact Vulture, most likely against 2-fact Vulture, but we're obviously going to have speed in here to try and make the difference.
Right, so the reason you get the speed is because you're trying to just get your vultures across the map as fast as possible. And oh no, if you catch your opponent's vultures out on the map with superior numbers, that's crazy. It's so significant. And the only way you can make that back is with more vulture production. But he's not actually, okay, he just now started making a vulture off in this third factory because he's just desperate for money. So Herbmon's going to try to pump vultures as fast as possible, but he just doesn't have as many. He has 3 vultures and his opponent has 4, so he's gonna have to pull SCVs to repair here, or help out, or do something, but they're a little slow.
But he's not repairing either. I think the best move here by Herbmon is just to sack his expansion and go on the high ground. He's going to be up against superior vulture production, at least for the time being. He's down 3 vultures now. His SCVs can only repair so much. 5 SCVs are pretty good, but it's still not enough to stop 3 vultures from killing your 1 vulture. So Herbmon's going to be taking a lot of damage here. He needs to defend the ramp.
Yeah, you gotta hold the ramp, and you also have to, get your SCVs back out. Now that mines are done, maybe that won't make the biggest difference because, it's vulture on vulture, so they don't set off mines. But it will be hard to clear them, and if you can't keep the vultures out of your main, then you're in real trouble.
And Radley, at the time it was, what I mean by that is Herbmon was actually going for a machine shop, whereas we had 2 vultures at a time coming out from Ziggy. So that's what I meant. But Ziggy's actually up to 3 factories himself now. He's actually still staying on vultures for the time being, not going to go for any tanks. Now, could you imagine if there was like a tank waddling down the ramp with those SCVs? That would have been so many dead SCVs there.
Oh, that would have been absolutely a massacre because the friendly. Oh my! Don't even make me think about that, Kicks. So I think Radley was pointing out that, or somebody was pointing out that it was a little bit of a worse trade earlier for Herbmon because the way that he fought, the position he was in, just wasn't that great. And so you can see how much can snowball from just the tiniest little early engagement. Like I said, especially in TBT. And this is all vultures all the time, Kicks. We don't even know what siege tanks are. We don't know what they look like, Kicks.
Who needs siege tanks, man? They get in the way. They're too slow now.
In TBT, siege tanks are slow, Kicks. We gotta go fast.
Yeah, that's exactly what Herbmon's going to try and do. He's actually got speed of his own now, going to try and push forward, try to take advantage of the fact he's got speed parity now, and he's going to see if he can get some of his opponent's vultures. But look at this back at home, there's actually 4 vultures coming in for a counter. This is going to be another lot of dead SCVs, Rapid.
Indeed it will be, as if you actually need more dead SCVs. Because Herbmon has lost so many SCVs, like so many.
Looks like Herbmon's going to try and go in the front. How is his micro on the vultures? He's actually doing a pretty good job breaking through the front, but obviously he's up against the defensive power of the 4 factory production now, and it looks like Ziggy is held on at his main.
Yeah, it sure does, Kicks. I mean, I think that's just going to do it. I can't see any way in which Herbmon holds on now. He was already behind, and yeah, he would just be even more behind. So GG, Herbmon taps out. And, well, this is Terran Herbmon tapping out. So Zerg Herbmon is still the man. But Terran Herbmon having some struggles here. And Ziggy, of course, very strong.
Yeah, Terran Herbmon still has a long way to go. One of the stories I've got of Herbmon is basically when I was playing in 2015, he couldn't beat me. So that's one of the things that I had over him at the time. Like, he was kind of newer to the game than I was. I was a little bit more experienced, and I eventually just kind of surpassed him a lot, and then I went for a break, came back like 3 or 4 months later, and all of a sudden I couldn't beat Herbmon anymore. That was it. Hermon was just suddenly so much better than me. He'd played an insane number of games to practice, and all of a sudden he was doing way, way better than I ever could. So Hermon is a boss with Zerg. He's got a little way to go to get there as Terran yet, but I know he is enjoying Terran now, which is always a good thing. Now, there is a little bit of a thing. Usually we would see the fourth game played. It was played, but unfortunately there was no replay, because Cheetech, who subbed in for True Touch, changed PC immediately after the game was played. So that replay, until I can get it from Kingdom, is a little bit lost to time. So we're going to report the games as we're seeing them. Luckily enough, well, luckily and unluckily, I mean, it was like a 40-minute series overall, but we saw a full series. Realistically, we saw a 3-0 here from NetWars, so just to quickly have a look. We'll just go through those quickly. Julian took down Mello, Bonith took down Bobmu, and Ziggy took down Hermon on the Mantra in our final game.
Yes. Okay, well, those are all the games that we actually saw. We don't know what happens on Neo Medusa. It's a mystery. What time is it for me here? Well, it's time to find out what's going to happen in our first series. Or is it?
Yep, the first series just happened. We just did the first series, Rapid.
Right. But there's no, or the final game of the fourth series. That's right. My point is that we're not going to find out what happens there, which is a little bit unfortunate. To answer your question, though, it is about 6 a.m. here, and I was telling Kix earlier, it's been a very long day for me. I hiked. It turned out to be, I think, a total of 19,000 steps up a 4-hour hike up a big mountain in the northern part of Seoul today.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I did that. I did a bunch of other stuff today. I'm trying to like also do STPL, but it is very, very late. In case you were wondering about like a little bit of either lack of enthusiasm, I feel it on the inside, maybe not on the outside, but I'm doing my best.
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll go to a break. Obviously, we'll get ready for the next series. It's going to be FBW versus Bolt. I'll see you guys then.